It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis score. Will Smith.
This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers lose in extra innings again. Today it was against the Colorado Rockies. They still won the series, but a very frustrating loss. The Dodgers now 1-9 in extra innings games this year. They blew 3 different leads today. They had an opportunity to tie the Giants for first place in the NL West. They could have moved into a tie heading into that big series coming up this week, but instead, the sloppy defense. You had late Kenley Jansen blows the save, then Phil Bickford comes in, and he had an opportunity to seal the deal and get things done and slam the door shut on the Rockies, but he just could not get it done. Blackmon hit it out in that inning, just took a four-seam fastball, just hit it out. Story hit the sacrifice fly, and it's unfortunate, a very frustrating loss. I don't want to hear any of this positive spin that, the Dodgers won this series, so it's good. No, it was a terrible loss, in my opinion. The Dodgers had no business losing this game when you look at the sloppy defense. An inexcusable play by Chris Taylor, just losing the ball there early in the game in the 5th inning to let Owings score on that error by Chris Taylor. And then you got the Crone was saved after that JT Fielding error early in the game. Inexcusable, so that's not championship defense. That is not championship defense. I don't care if you're playing a team like the Colorado Rockies, a 40-53 team. You have to come out and play like a champion, play like a World Series contender. I thought it was just a terrible loss by the Dodgers. It was nice to see them fight back with Justin Turner and Will Smith coming up big. He had some nice offense, but still, that was an inexcusable loss for this Dodger team. You got to take care of business when you have World Series aspirations. I mean, if you want to be a second-place team or a third-place team, fine. You could say, okay, we came short extras, but this is a team that should have won that game, especially when you got to figure that David Price pitched pretty well. Vesia came in, pitched pretty well. I mean, the bullpen did enough to win this game for the Dodgers, but defensively they let them down, and unfortunately, those mistakes cost them today. But we're going to get into all your takes, guys. I mean, a game behind that. When are we going to finally get past the Giants already? I'm sick and tired of being in second place in the NL West. With this level of talent, the Giants didn't even think they were going to contend this year, and we're in second place behind the Giants. I think it's this week is going to tell us a lot about this team. I think they were feeling themselves a little bit. I mean, they had won 8 straight against the Rockies. They have dominated Colorado since 2018. A winning percentage over 700. And, today was just I didn't like that. I think it was a bad loss, sloppy loss. But let me know down below in the comments. Let's slice up this blame pie. Let's get this out of our system, and then we'll focus on this Giant series. But, hey, welcome back, guys. Nice to see you guys. Haven't seen you guys since last Sunday. But here you go. We got Mysterio. We got This Is Annoying. What a letdown from Diane Schroeder. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button. If you're on Twitter, be sure to retweet the show. I'd really appreciate that. But good to see you, Doug. Good to see you too, Moose. We're still okay. I knew the moment Phil Bickford came in that we lost Mysterio. I mean, look, he's been reliable. He has been a surprise for this Dodger team doing what he's done this year. But unfortunately, today just wasn't his day. He comes in there, he gets Rogers to line to left, and that was kind of the first thing. So when he allowed Rogers to line to left there, Hampson ties up right away, and then you figure, okay, they're going to at least get the tie, and he tags up. Then Story hits a sac fly to right. That scored Hampson, making it 5-5. And then Blackmon on a 1-1 count, he just hit a nice tank, and that won them the game. They get 2 runs off 1 hit there in the bottom of the 10th inning. And, yeah, the Dodgers 1-9 in extra innings games this year. Is that concerning to you? Let me know down below in the comments section. But that loss was on Jansen. That's from Moose 1032. Yeah, we'll get into Kenley here just a second. We got Mr. Cat. Yeah, who blew the save? I mean, there you go. I mean, Kenley Jansen was riding high, 21 of 23 in save opportunities this year, over 91% conversion rate. Hadn't blown a save since Cinco de Mayo, and it just wasn't his day, and he just didn't look sharp. Hadn't pitched in 6 days, and unfortunately, that was it. That was the game right there. And I mean, that's why when you watch this Dodger team, you just want them to win in the first 9 innings, because with that record in extra innings this year, you got to say you don't love our chances. And that's a strange thing. That's a very strange thing to consider, that the Dodgers right in the mix for having the best record in Major League Baseball, but you don't feel very confident when this team is in extra innings. That just doesn't make sense if you're a championship team. But look, let's not forget that the Dodgers were playing today without Mookie Betts. He went down yesterday. He had the hip injury. We got good news that Doc said that he's going to be back hopefully Monday, hopefully early in that series. Gavin Lux went down with a hamstring injury. Hopefully, I mean, I would probably guess that he probably goes on the IL based on how he reacted. But Mookie Betts is the engine of this Dodgers offense. The Dodgers are 18-6 when Mookie has a multi-hit game like he did yesterday. They've won 14 straight when he has 2+ hits, and he's a great second-half player. So, I mean, not having Mookie Betts in the lineup, definitely you saw the impact of that today too. But let's get back into this comment section. Who do you blame for today's loss? I want your takes down below. Let's hear all the excuses, crybabies. We got Brian Langerman, abolish the extra innings rule. Brian, let me give you Let's Go Dodgers for that, because I'm totally with you. I'm sick and tired of this extra innings rule. I just don't get it. You fight for 9 innings. And then right in the 10th, you put the guy on. The way I think they should fix that rule is, well, I mean, Manfred has already said they're probably going to do away with it, and you're not going to see it in the postseason. But what I would do is, if you want to keep the fans in the stands, like Oral Hershiser said, and you kind of want to build that tension early on, put the runner on second in the 2nd or 3rd inning, kind of similar to what college football does, where it makes you go for 2 in the 3rd overtime. That's what I think baseball should do if they want to move forward with this, but I just don't like it. I really don't. It really puts the pitcher in a bad position. A guy like Kenley Jansen, who's not the guy you want to see there on the mound with guys on just to start inning, but we're not even worried about him, but I'm just saying in the last situation earlier with him. But look, I mean, Kenley Jansen, the reality is he's pitched very well this season. He should have definitely made the All-Star team over Melanson, and he hadn't blown a save since if you remember when he blew that save against the Cubs, right? I think it was the Cubs game that I think the Dodgers also lost in extra innings that game too. So similar pattern. He blew that one back on May 5th. So similar result in this one. But look, the Dodgers 58-36, just a game behind the Giants in the NL West. And if they take care of business at home, they'll be in the driver's seat in the division once again. The Padres, their offensives come alive. I think they're going to make a big push coming up here. But that loss just really leaves a bad taste in your mouth, considering how sloppy that defense was. And just all in all, the Dodgers is not coming through there. So we're going to look at the bottom of the ninth here in a second here, but get rid of Taylor. Really just made the All-Star team. Oh, because of the area. Look, he's a versatile defender. Today, like Oral Hershiser pointed out, he didn't flip down those lids, but my theory was the baseball gods giveth and the baseball gods taketh. You remember last Sunday what happened? The sun got in Josh Reddick's eyes. It made him not make that play on the Justin Turner fly ball, which allowed the Dodgers to come back and get the walk-off there. And then a week later, the sun hurts the Dodgers, allows the Rockies to get the tie, and they get walked off. I'm telling these baseball guys, they can be cruel at times. Neil K can't hit with runners in scoring position. In extras, only strikeouts. I mean, we saw today Will Smith did come through. Runners in scoring position. Dodgers 4 for 14 in Game 1, 5 for 13 in Game 2. I mean, the defense is kind of what really cost the Dodgers today in this game. I mean, Justin Turner wasn't given that error, but tonight the Dodgers, they ended up going 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, leaving 7 men on base. The Rockies 3 for 11, leaving 6 men on base, and that's a bad Rockies team. 40-53 on the season. No hope to sniff the postseason. They're going to be trading away a lot of pieces soon, but gave another one away. I agree with you 100% on that one. Roy Estrada. They definitely gave that one away. They should have won that game. Mike Hernandez, we need another closer. When we won it, he wasn't the closer, Mike Hernandez. That's a fair point. I mean, I've been reluctant to go all in on this version of Kenley Jansen because, look, I mean, Kenley Jansen, when it's mattered most in the postseason, even when he was at his peak, he didn't come through. So I think eventually he will. I think that at this point we got to take the good with Kenley Jansen and hope that we get the best version of him moving forward. But when we do get guys like Corey Knebel, we got some good news on. He's throwing pitches, I think 10 to 15 last I saw, that he's getting close. He's making progress. And then you got Brusdar Graterol. I want to see them open it up a little bit in these situations. Despite the great year that Kenley Jansen has had, many would probably assume that, he's earned that closer role back. But I think that as we get closer and closer to the postseason, I do want to see more of a closer by committee approach to get him rested and not – he hadn't pitched in 6 days. So today he kind of looked a little rusty. He gave up those 2 hits in his one inning pitch. Like I said, it was first blown save since May 5th. So Anthony Keene underachieving. Okay, yeah, sloppy loss from Dane. How you going, Anthony Keene? Remember you told me the Suns were gonna sweep the Bucks, man. I don't know. I think I called it before the season. Bucks in 6. That was my preseason pick, and I'm feeling good about it. Why didn't Roberts go to Alexander for the lefty? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. You really see them playing the matchups in situations like this, and yeah, I mean, Bickford has been very trusted. I mean, Phil Bickford has been really one of the great pickups for Andrew Friedman this year. We saw, for every Nate Jones, we saw a Phil Bickford, and yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, a lot of times he's come through in these spots, but tonight wasn't that night for Mr. Spicoli himself, Phil Bickford. And yeah, if you look at Friday, he was fantastic. Phil Bickford, he got the day's rest, went 2/3 innings, had the he actually had the 2 walks in that one. So, but I mean, in July, a 2.84 ERA, one of the more trusted bullpen pieces for the Dodgers, but it just wasn't his day. And then in June, he had a 2.31 ERA, and then so he's really been impressive and just come out of nowhere to contribute for this team when they've had so many injuries. But unfortunately, gives it that bomb to Blackman, and that was all she wrote. The Rockies, they walked it off. But that's not on Bickford. Kenley maybe errors. Yeah, I'm not putting all of this on Bickford. I mean, he was put in a tough spot, and I really have a tough time. We got Sergio. I have a tough time really coming down any of these relievers. Yes, you want to see them just attack the hitters they're facing and get the outs that are in front of them. But look, having that guy start on second, I'm telling you, man, it's very softball league. It just doesn't feel like Major League Baseball. I want them to do away with it, but if they do want to keep it, like I'm saying, put it on later in extra innings. That way you can preserve some of the bullpen pieces and not have to overwork bullpens and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't come down that. And really, the game was lost early with some of the errors and Kenley Jansen there in the bottom of the ninth. So let's look at that bottom of the ninth inning for a second. But first, let me get some more of your takes. And guys, thanks for rocking with us as always. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, go to youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. We're going crazy with the trade content this week. We've pretty much been going crazy with it for the last few weeks, but we're going to kick it into another gear, and it's going down. Here, perfect. I'll read your screen name. Read your username. Future Dodger Scherzer season. I like that one. These past 2 weeks have been annoying. Giants are trying their best to give the Dodgers the division. Exactly. They really are. I mean, it's there for the taking. The Dodgers have to just seize it because I'm telling you, this Padres team, they're going to be coming. I just want to say credit to the Padres, man. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, mad respect for what you did last night. You had the gunshots outside of the stadium in Washington, D.C., them getting kids and putting the dugouts. Those guys are heroes, man. Much love to those two, Fernando Tatis Jr. and old friend Manny Machado. But Bellinger is trash. That's from Bleed Blue 26. Yeah, Cody Bellinger has just been struggling all season long. He just hasn't gotten it going now. Yes, he had the hairline fracture, and I think that, look, the shoulder it almost looks like when you look at his swing, it's almost like watching an octopus fall out of the top window of a building. I mean, you have all these moving parts, and they're just kind of not in sync at times, and I think you kind of want that explosion back from his hips, from his legs, and just getting on top of baseballs, but he's really struggled this season, and it's unfortunate because when he's on, he's one of the best players. He's really he's an MVP of 2019. He was the best player in the National League, but after today, his slash line drops from, he's hitting 168 with a 284 on base percentage. He's slugging 282. We're talking about Cody Bellinger, a guy with 47 home runs, is slugging 282. And like I said, I mean, I'm not making excuses for the guy, but guys will tell you. Adrian Gonzalez talked about it. It takes a year. Sometimes people say it takes a year to overcome a shoulder injury and to kind of get the feel back. But I mean, last year the average was down. You saw the cut towards the second half of the 2019 season, and in the postseason, he also struggled there. But yeah, if you look at Cody Bellinger, really struggling against heaters. This year, he's hitting 155 against fastballs, slugging 366. In his MVP season, he was hitting 327 against fastballs, slugging 661. So you're seeing a big drop off from Cody Bellinger, hitting just above 100 in his last 56 or 7 plate appearances. So yeah, he's really going through it in a really bad way. Let me ask you guys a question. What do you think the Dodgers should do with Cody Bellinger? Because you know what they've been saying. They've been saying, look, Cody Bellinger, even if he's struggling at the plate, he can still contribute to the game defensively. I definitely think there is something to that, but interested to get you guys' take on that. What do you think the Dodgers should do with Cody Bellinger? By the way, congratulations. He did announce he's going to be a girl dad. That's really awesome. So trade Bellinger. I mean, Mike Inman, would you really want to trade Cody Bellinger with his stock the way it is? I mean, I think that when you want to trade guys, you want to sell high, and I don't think they're in a position where you're going to be selling him high. I do think there's a lot of teams out there that would like to pay Cody Bellinger, has that name cachet, has that star power, and when he's right, he's one of the best sluggers in the league, but I don't think right now you'd probably be getting pennies on the dollar at this stage. I'm doing something on the Twins tomorrow. I mean, Byron Buxton, I mean, he hasn't signed that extension last I checked, but Jansen is Mr. Unreliable. Everyone who played defense. This game shows we need another guy in that closer's role like Kimbrel. It's stud. Yeah, I mean, Craig Kimbrel, we saw the Cubs traded Jock. You know they're probably going to move Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. Kimbrel got that vested option for next season. So he's got a 0.57 ERA this year. He's been virtually untouchable. Wouldn't mind having Craig Kimbrel on my team. And yeah, man, I mean, I think the Dodgers are really in a position where Mark Feinsand tweeted out earlier that they're going crazy on a warpath. And I'll quote him as saying Mark Feinsand said the Dodgers are on a warpath for a starting pitcher. So that leads me to believe that they're looking for a starting pitcher. I don't think they're going to get Bauer back based on their actions. So if you do get another starting pitcher, you might see guys like Jansen go into that bullpen and enhance the depth there. So to me, it always starts with starting pitching, and then you kind of work from there. But if you can get a guy like Kimbrel, I mean, you definitely wouldn't think twice about it, depending on what kind of haul they want. But Blake Anderson, Jansen was definitely due for a blown save. If he only blows one every 3 months, though, I'll live with that. Great point, Blake Anderson. I mean, let's get into that, though. So the bottom of the ninth, McMahon cranks a Kenley Jansen slider deep to center for a leadoff double. So, yeah, I mean, that just hung up in the air for a long time, had the spin on it, and just falls into deep center field for that double. And then Diaz grounded to first, and McMahon, he advances to third, and then Owings singled to left to score McMahon to tie things up at 4, and then Hilliard grounded to first, and Pujols, nice play by the machine. He gets the lead runner, Owings there. They kept the winning run at first instead of second, so a heads-up play there by LA's Theo. And then on an 0-2 count to Hampson, he gets him to fly to Belly for the third out. So like I said, first blown save since Cinco de Mayo. So it wasn't like it was an absolute it wasn't like he absolutely got rocked or anything like that, but that leadoff double really caused Kenley in that inning. And just kind of that's the thing about Kenley Jansen is you want to see him get those just punch guys out. And unfortunately it didn't happen today. And the Dodgers, he blows the save. Dodgers take the loss, and now they're still a game behind the Giants in first place. Couple reminders, by the way, head over to gearup.la for latest Dodgers Nation merch. Some of the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game. You're going to find it right over there at gearup.la. So, yeah, definitely get geared up, man. We're still in a good spot. But, yeah, it's the thing about, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Kenley, it's vintage Kenley. It's vintage Kenley. this and that. He still got it. Yeah, Kenley Jansen has found a way to become more effective, and you're seeing him use that slider, use that two-seam fastball, and reach up to 97. But the strikeout rate isn't where it was when he was in his prime, when he had a K percentage north of 40%. It's sub 30% now. It's around 28%. So the idea that Kenley Jansen is vintage Kenley, or that he's pitching like he was in his absolute prime, is just, I mean, if you look at the facts, it's just not that. I mean, the opponent's batting average is really solid, and he's been, look, don't get me wrong, he's pitched very well this season, and I think that there is he can go really help this team. There's no question about it. But I think that if the Dodgers thought that they've seen enough from him this season to just assume that he's going to be that lockdown guy in the ninth towards the end of the season and the postseason every single night or every other night or anything like that, I think that it would be wise to not feel that way. But what happened to Gratterall? Still working his way back. He was struggling with command. They had him down in AAA, but Taylor's sold. We got Jansen needs to keep juicing. I don't know about that. Hopefully he's not. Jansen has a 2.3 ERA in the postseason. You guys are crazy. When will Josiah get the calls? From Dodgers Talk. I mean, you saw Dave Roberts talk about how he's an odd, 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 how he's an odd. Here, Hyung's Sung Kwag. When Giants lose, Dodgers lose. You can read this message. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, has been that. But Bellinger's stance and batting mechanics are really concerning. That's from Jonathan J. We got Anthony King. How you called it, the Bucks. Hey man, I'm not one of those victory lap guys, but you're my friend, so I gotta mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Anthony King. By the way, so yeah, what do you guys think is the biggest issue with Cody Bellinger? Do you think it is recovering from that shoulder injury? Do you think he just needs more plate appearances, get to 100, 150, 200 plate appearances to really find that rhythm again and get that power back? I want your takes down below. We got tonight's game, shades of the great Jonathan Broxton. Jonathan J., he has trouble with high pitches since his stance makes him extremely vulnerable. And look, Jonathan J., you're absolutely correct. That's how they've attacked him for the last few seasons. And you've seen him, you see him swing underneath pitches, and that's where he really struggles. You get those high-velocity four-seam fastballs that have the spin, that have that perceived rise, and he's in big trouble. He's late, he's swinging underneath them, and he's just not making contact, and that's really the unfortunate thing when it comes to Cody Bellinger. And then they'll get him with a breaking ball low and away. So those are kind of really his problem areas. But I mean, like I said, defense I feel like is overlooked when it comes to baseball these days with kind of the three true outcomes. But he does impact the game defensively. He really makes outs out of potential hits for a lot of hitters. And then you don't have to worry about having Mookie Betts in center field or Chris Taylor. And I think that allows this team to have more balance and cohesion. So that's definitely a good thing. But, yeah, if you look at this season, that K percentage, his strikeout rate heading into today's game was at 28%. 28%. He's striking out at a 28% clip this season. That's not good. That's terrible by Cody Bellinger standards. We thought he had a bad year last year. That K percentage was still, I was saying last year that it was just about him not lifting the ball as much and getting it in the air. But last year, it was at 17.3%. That was a strikeout rate. This year, that number's jumped up to 28%. That would be the highest in his career. His rookie season, where he was able to hit 39 home runs, that was at 26.6%. But he had that ISO power was at 315. Now it's down to 118. So not hitting for power. So right now, Cody Bellinger is not hitting for power enough. He's not making contact enough, and he's striking out a lot. So they got to find a way to get him right. I don't know if a trip down to the minor leagues would do him right. I don't know if you just continue to work your way through this struggle to get the feel with that shoulder and get synced up with everything. I really don't know exactly what the game plan is going to be. I do you just hope that it just all clicks for him and he goes on a tear. And I was hoping that walk-off that we saw was really going to take him there. But, yeah, here we go. D-Mac, help me. I'm in pain. Diego Reyna, I'll help you out, man. We're fine. The Dodgers are in a good spot. Mookie Betts, like I said, Mookie Betts is look, I had a bold prediction that I thought Mookie Betts would finish with a team lead in home runs at the All-Star break. Muncy's is probably still going to be that man, trying to kind of manifest Mookie, but I don't think it's really a bold prediction to predict that he's going to be the MVP of the team in the second half, but I was saying that I think he'd finish with the most home runs, and the reason I feel good about that is he's a fantastic second-half player. In his career, Mookie Betts is a career .313 hitter in the second half, and you saw yesterday. I mean, can you imagine 3 doubles and a home run in a T-ball game? I would feel, I would print banners and print T-shirts if I could have that kind of success. I mean, Mookie Betts, when he's right, he's top 5, not 5. That's my opinion on the matter, and he really makes this team go. You see the record when he has success, and I think that he's going to get – I think this hip injury isn't anything serious, and I think he's going to get back, and this team will get rolling. And look, bottom line, they took 2 of 3 with a division opponent in the Rockies, and the Rockies – they've been a team that's had a lot of success at home. So it was a trap series heading into this big series against San Francisco. The team is still right there in the thick of it for best record in Major League Baseball. And if everything goes right and this team comes to play, and I think this team will, I think there's going to be a different level of intensity and adrenaline and anticipation when they play the Giants tomorrow. I think that this time next week they should have a 2-3 game lead in the division. At least that's my hope, and I think this team is capable of it. Let me know. Oh, here we go. Craig Osterberg says you would send Cody to the minors and hit him 8th. How do you put him in the leadoff role? Wilfredo Cordova. I mean, I didn't like that at all. I'm with you on that 100%. I thought that, they're just trying to find a spark somewhere. And Cody Bellinger, I mean, look, if you got Chris Taylor available, and Mookie Betts isn't playing, I think it's a no-brainer. You put CT3 in that leadoff spot. But I'm in complete agreement with you on that one because I think that if you get guys on in front of him, he's going to get more pitches to hit, and you want him to be a slugger. And anywhere from Cody Bellinger has to bat anywhere from 3 to 6. I mean, to me, that's his sweet spot. Anthony Keene's got one. Be patient with Cody. He's too valuable long term. Shoulders, big injury to come back from. Anthony Keene, agree with you 100% right there. He's valuable long term. And you saw, look, without Cody Bellinger, this team doesn't win the World Series last year. Okay, let's not forget that. If he doesn't make the catch and take Fernando Tatis's lunch money there in the NLDS, the Dodgers might. That's a short series. Anything can happen, even though the Padres weren't at full strength. And then the home run in Game 7, other than Kirk Gibson's walk-off, Cody Bellinger has one of the biggest hits in one of the biggest home runs in team history. So a big deal there. All right. Okay, so it looks like you guys lost me real quick on the screen. Let me see what happened there. Go, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Bellinger is trash. We got, 1 second, guys. A little tech difficulty here, and we'll be back. Got my producer. I don't know what the heck happened here. I'm going to switch it up. Let's switch it up. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we're back. Thanks to my producer for letting me know. Yeah. Here we go, back in the mix. Let's get you guys questions rolling. Missing Mookie today from Tammy. Taylor lost his game, not Jansen. Jansen lost this, not CT3. We got 2-strike count, though. Yeah, that's an issue. Anthony Keene, we need to get Hendricks and Kimbrel from the Cubs. I just don't see Kendricks as a possible. I mean, I think it's possible, but I just don't see him adding that much. I mean, he's got a couple years left on his deal. I just don't see Andrew for a couple $16 million per year for a couple more years. I just don't think that Friedman would take that on. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that he wants some guys with expiring deals. But we'll see. But let's get back. Let's break down this game a little more, guys. 2 errors today. What's the status on Lux? I mean, I haven't checked yet. I haven't heard what Dave Roberts has to say. Let me see if I can get that right here. Let's see what we got any comments on Lux right here. Don't see any press conference stuff on Lux yet. But Cody's been trashed for a year and a half now. We got what is our issue with extra innings? That's from Deborah Young. I mean, I think that you got to get clutch hits. You got to have, but it's really been a lot of relief pitching let down. I mean, that's really kind of what's come down to, and all the injuries with the bullpen. It's just allowing big hits. Unfortunately, we have guys that struggle pitching with the runners on in extra innings. That's why they're 1-9 this year. Do want to kind of look at Mitchell out of half full today and give David Price some credit. I think David Price pitched very well. He came out there and it looked like it was going to be a short outing. He comes out there in the first inning and 23 pitches in that first inning, and then he really got that pitch count down, ended up going 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, had the 1 earned run, 4 punch-outs, 66 pitches for David Price. So that's going to go a long way. If they can get 60 to 70, maybe build them to 75 pitches and give you 4 or 5 innings, that's going to really be big for this team with all the uncertainty with their starting rotation. Our bullpen sucks from Jesse Lopez. We got get rid of Jansen, Lux Barnes, hit or sit from Michael Garcia over on YouTube. We got LO, we got 5150 Rams. We got trade Cody for a couple of napkins and paper straws. That's from Dodgers Baseball. You kind of go hard on them on that one. Or just DFA him. Trade Lux for prospects. Lux is garbage from Raider Mike. We got Kenley is wash from Bleed Blue 26. We got Jim over on Hishinuma over on Facebook. Belly should be batting lower in the lineup, not lead up. Agree with you. Not lead off. I agree with you on that one. We got Butch Rigar. Dodgers' lowest statistic in turning double plays in the big leagues due to poor play at third, poor defense behind the plate, and middle infield way out of position. Maybe their decision to overemphasize on defensive positioning. A lot of slow feet all season on defense. Not going to win much against fundamentally strong teams. That's coaching not recognizing. It's an embarrassment. Justin Turner needs to start playing first base. He is literally an embarrassment defensively. So a lot to say on that one, Butch, over on Facebook. Want to get that one in. But yeah, I mean, this team used the shift as much, or they're always one of the leaders when it comes to using the defensive shift. It has worked in their favor since they've really gone that route. But yeah, I mean, Justin Turner, look, we just got to gut this one out. We got to gut this season out with Justin Turner. There's no question he's lost a step, but he's also made some really nice plays at third base. I wouldn't say he's one of the better defensive third basemen in the league, but you just got to gut this year out and then get him to that DH, and then we'll worry about that next season. Who will take that spot? So switch Belly with JT. Tomorrow, Dodgers will be in first place from Jesse Salas. We got Bellinger is trash. We got Roberts is a puppet. We got Jose Mezcua over on Facebook saying who is pitching tomorrow. Tomorrow we got their ace Gosman going against Gonsolin. So hopefully Gonsolin can bring it tomorrow. The great Catsby, the Gonsoliner, can bring the heat. Dodgers are in good shape. I agree with you, Mike. Cody got to go. Not gonna lie. That's from Dodger Baseball. We got pound for pound. Belly trying to hit the ball to Mars. Anthony Keene, I got you, bro. Got a get hater in our bullpen. They're not going to be sellers, man. If you're thinking of Josh Hader, it's not even worth talking about, because I think that if you look at that division, if you look at that Brewers team, I think they're going to try to. I mean, they have some deficiencies towards the bottom half of that lineup. But, Adames has played really well since they've acquired him. I think they're going to add some bats. I think that team is going to be a team that's going to want to try to make a run at this thing. So I wouldn't anticipate Josh Hader being traded. I don't even think it's on the table. I don't think they're considering it. We'll see how their season fares and if it's more of an off-season thing. But we got bring back Joel. Yeah. Bring back Jock. Bring back Jock. I mean, he had a home run yesterday. Maybe we'll see in the off-season. Who knows? I've heard people talk about it. Blame Kenley Jansen for blowing the save. We got Anthony Keene. Dude, shame on the team for not moving Price into the rotation sooner. We got I'm throwing my Lux rookie cards in the trash because he can't hit anymore. Sports card, report cards. Don't throw that away. Just give them to me. I'll take them. I don't care. DM me in, please. Don't throw this away. Dave Roberts needs to go now. I mean, I disagree with that. Dodgers baseball. But it would have to have been a 2-run lead if it weren't for Taylor. Blame Taylor. Yeah, let's get into this game a little bit. Kind of do a quick little breakdown of today's action. So bottom of the first. Actually, let's jump to the bottom of the first inning. So on an 0-2 count, Hampson hits a ground ball single to right. Rogers grounds out to second. Nice play by CT3 there, by the way. Then on a 1-2 count, he gets Story swing with a high fastball for the second out. Then on a 1-0 pitch to Blackman, he singles to left. Price misses away, and he just kind of poked into left field. Blackman then steals second, and then Crone was safe on a fielding error by Justin Turner. And then McMahon, he grounds to Price for the third out there. So he ends up scoring on that play right there. So on the previous play, so that made it 1-0 Rockies to start the game. And then if you look at and then jumping ahead to the top of the third inning, Justin Turner, he gets the Dodgers on the board, top of the third. By the way, give David Price some credit. He reached on an infield single. He just crushed that one. No, man, very weak contact, gets on base, 5th career hit. And then Bellinger fly to right for the first out. Muncy fly to center. Then on a 1-1 pitch, Justin Turner hits an opposite field home run, 384 feet, 104 miles per hour off the bat. That made it 2-1 Dodgers. JT's 16th home run of the year. This guy's having a great year with the bat. Then the bottom of the third, a nice inning right there for David Price. Gets Jansen to ground to short, gets Rogers to ground to short, then he struck out Story's swing with a 4-seam fastball. So he was dominating Story, gets him to strike out twice, and really nice job there. Then let's jump to the bottom of the fifth, where we saw the defense cost the Dodgers once again. So Reed was in for LA, then Diaz fouled out to the short for the first out, then Owings singled to center, and then Gray hit a sac bunt, advancing Owings to second with 2 outs, and then Hampson popped to second for what should have easily been the third out of the inning, but instead CT3, he lost it in the sun, pops out of his glove, and with 2 outs, Owings scored. With 2 outs, Owings was running on the play, so he ends up scoring. So the fact there was 2 outs there almost worked against the Dodgers, and it's really unfortunate. So he ends up scoring on the play. That ties things up. So defense costing the Dodgers again. They've been sloppy at times throughout this season. Not a great defensive team up the middle on that side of the infield. I mean, Max Muncy, you see the improvement he's made. Chris Taylor, most of the time, is dependable at second base, but when it comes to shortstop and the third base position, I would say one of the weaker units in the league. But jump into the bottom of the 7th. Joe Kelly was in to pitch for LA. He gets McMahon singles to deep right to lead off the inning. Then Diaz grounded to first, and McMahon advanced to second. Then Joe Kelly threw a wild pitch that allowed McMahon to advance to third. It was ruled a wild pitch, but Will Smith, he'll tell you, man, he's got to make that play. He has this tendency to want to backhand everything. You got to block that, try to make that play. And then Joe Kelly, he walked Owings to give the Rockies runners on first and third with 1 out. And then Adams, he singled to shallow left, scoring McMahon to put the Rockies on top 3-2. It was originally ruled an error on Justin Turner, but they changed it to a hit. JT will probably tell you should have made that play. I know JT in his prime would have made that play. But, yeah, Kelly was a little all over the place, didn't have his best command today, but the defense let him down twice that inning. But they did make up for it. We're going to get into that in just a second. We want to get back to your comments. We got Julio Taylor is trash and lost to the game. He just made his first All-Star team. He's been one of the more valuable players for this team. To me, he's an indispensable player on the Dodgers. I would disagree with that. We got what happened. We got William Blockson. No way. Just like Miami. Why don't we know the significance of our situation? We got Arbo. Could there still be something with Cody's shoulder? Maybe something he's not telling anyone. I think that it's kind of just getting that explosion, getting that power back, and continue to get synced up just completely. But I think that that's definitely a possibility. Deborah Young, Taylor isn't trash, but he did lose us the game. We got Price pitches better than young Julio. We got Dodgers baseball. How about put him back on the IL? He's hurting the team. I don't know about washed up from backup T1. Then jump into the top of the 8th inning. Muncy grounded it out to first, and Turner doubled to left. So a little redemption there makes up for that play he didn't make. He gets the double to left. Then on a 1-0 count, Will Smith homers to left, crushed a slider 383 feet. He will rock you. 102.9 miles per hour off the bat. So I'm telling you, Will Smith is a special hitter. His ability to get hard contact is very impressive. I think that, look, I'm telling you, next season I want to spend the whole offseason, because Will Smith has the arm and he's a converted catcher. So I think that you could definitely find another position for Will Smith, whether it be an outfield spot, a corner outfield spot, or third base. And I want to see Keibert Ruiz behind the dish. So I think, and then have him focus solely on his hitting ability because he is a special hitter with the stick. So he ends up getting that home run, and he makes up for that play that had the wild pitch there that really kind of could have been a pass ball. And then bottom of the ninth inning, McMahon, we kind of already went through that one. Then the top of the 10th inning, the Dodgers take the lead again. So you got to feel pretty good about it. If you're the Dodgers, one positive thing, too, was they were resilient. They didn't give up. They found a way to get themselves back in the lead again today. But unfortunately, at the end, it just wasn't enough. I mean, if you look at the top of the 10th inning, Dodgers come out. Taylor struck out swinging, and then Taylor struck out swinging. Bellinger gets the leadoff walk, and then Muncy struck out swinging. Justin Turner struck out swinging, and then Smith singled to center. Pujols ended up scoring from second. Remember, he was on second there. And then Bellinger goes to third base, and got to give Albert Pujols credit because he was hauling on the bases. I mean, I think he's the last in the league with his sprint speed. It's around 22 or something like that. And it just shows you this guy's done it all, won it all. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The only question now is, will he be a unanimous inductee, which I think he definitely should. He finds a way to score on that play, makes it around, and gives the Dodgers a 5-4 lead at that point. And then we already talked about what happened in the bottom of that inning in the next part. So unfortunately, Dodgers lose. They had a chance to tie it up in the NL West, but unfortunately just come up short. They've dominated the Rockies this season for the last few seasons, and they're going to have to step it up against the San Francisco Giants. They're going to have to be much sharper when it comes to defense, and But thanks, guys, again for rocking with us after this one. You guys brought the fire takes like you always do. Let's get into some of these takes, and here we go. Pound for pound, this loss is a blessing in disguise. We'll be ready for the Giants. Okay, pound for pound. Pujols makes my heart. Okay, yeah, he's really awesome. Do you guys want to see him back? We'll end on this one. Yes or no, should the Dodgers bring back Albert Pujols next year? I mean, you saw Dave Vassegh tweeted that that Pujols wanted to come back, and he ended up deleting the tweet, so it's kind of a rumor at this point. But yes or no, what do you think? But he's literally just a babysitter. A 41-year-old Pujols is literally playing better than Belly, Raider Mike. I mean, I would say that Pujols is more like 44, if we're being completely honest, based on all the evidence. But how does Cody sleep at night with a supermodel? I like that one. Yes for Jonathan. Bring him back from Mike. We got yes. We got Bruce Davis. If Friedman does not go all in, then don't see the Dodgers making the playoffs. We got no from Robert. We got Pujols would be fun to have. We got Giannis coming for LeBron's crown. I mean, Giannis, to me, is clear-cut the best player in the NBA. Two-time MVP, man. Re-signed Pujols as a hitting coach, not a player. That's from Swaggy. We got Jonathan. I think the Giants stay in first place. It'll be a race between the Dodgers and Padres for second place. That's from Jonathan. Number 55, yes, from Jesse. Bring up Ruiz. Anthony Keene, he's been so good for us. I think they gotta. Was talking about Roberts being a babysitter. We got bring back the DH too. Yeah, that's another thing to consider too. Is like you're gonna more than likely have the designated hitter in the National League, so that's gonna help him. But if you have Pujols back and you have Justin Turner wanting some of that DH love, then it's interesting. I mean, you split time. You have Pujols just as the occasional pinch hitter. It's something to consider. To me, I think that let's talk about this after the season. Let's see how he fares in the postseason. But it would be great to see him make a run for 700 in Dodger Blue. I think that you bring Pujols back if he promises to go into the Hall of Fame as a Dodger. How about that? Wear that Dodger Blue hat in Cooperstown, and then we'll sign him up. And that will make up for the Mike Piazza thing. Manager Albert from William Blockson over on YouTube. Pujols no from Greg Tucker. Dodgers baseball this year sucks so bad. Everything from injuries to Bauer to the Giants. This year is easily the worst in the past 9 years. What are you talking about, man? Did you see some of these? This season is. Look, I mean, I would hold out judgment until we see how this season ends. I mean, I agree with you. Dodger baseball 100%. There's been a lot of adversity this year, but despite that, the Dodgers could have the best record in baseball in the second half of the season by this upcoming week. So despite all the adversity this team has had to face, all the bad luck when it comes to injuries, this team is still right in the thick of it, and they're right in the mix when it comes to. I mean, who would you pick against the Dodgers right now in the world against LA in the World Series right now? I still think this team is right there. But Pujols, yes, I cried. Will Dodgers pay Bauer's money? That's going to be complicated. I mean, I'll probably spend a whole video on talking about that one. We got Mike Piazza still hurt so bad. Some wounds don't heal. LOL. I mean, for me, it's the Pedro Martinez. I mean, oh, geez. 2000 Pedro Martinez, I would take over DeGrom. I'm telling you, man. Because I'm telling you, that was a different era. That was a different era of hitters, man. Everyone was juiced up. Pedro Martinez, man, probably my favorite non-Dodger of all time. Actually, it's not even close. Of course he is. Who's your guys' favorite non-Dodger of all time before we get out of here? Ready for the whole video? Yeah, well, yeah, I'll be doing some stuff. I kind of wait for some news to break, but yes, sir, Dodgers will step it up. We got Belly, hasn't had a healthy season yet. Wouldn't give hope just yet. Yeah, do not give up on Cody Bellinger. He has too much talent, and we've seen him have so much success in his career. This is a guy, 39 home runs his rookie season, and takes home that award. He's an MVP. This guy has won so many. I mean, this is a guy that if he gets back to being Cody Bellinger, does it for 5, 6, 7, 8 years with everything he's accomplished. I mean, look, I mean, this is a guy that I mean, after his first 4 seasons, looked like he was going to be a fast track to be a Hall of Famer. So Belly's going to be fine. We got Cody has had 35-plus games. He's been given a chance. Anthony Keene, the kid Griffey is my favorite non-Dodger of all time. Yeah, that'd be in the mix for me too, between him, Vladimir Guerrero. Yeah, man, I rocked the Griffies as a kid too, man. And I played the game on Super Nintendo. Probably aging myself a little bit here, but yeah. I mean, how could you not love the kid? I mean, look up Cool Dictionary. It's just a picture of Ken Griffey Jr. Taking BP with his hat backwards. Am I right? But thanks for rocking with us, guys. Getting close to the hour mark. You guys are the best as always. You guys know how to find me. We can talk baseball all day, every day over on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. So be sure to follow me. Be sure to follow the official Dodgers Nation Twitter account. That's where I'm tweeting a lot these days, pretty much more than I do on my own, I think. So definitely go over there. Be sure to rock with us tomorrow on the Blue Heaven podcast with Mr. Clint Pasillas and Brooks Smith, the senior editors at Dodgers Nation. I may or may not be on that show tomorrow. We'll see what's up. So be sure to check with us for that. Be sure to check videos all week long on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. We'll be breaking down the action again on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis score. Will Smith.
This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.